Hello and welcome back to another video from FPL Double Pivot. It's Friday, so that can only mean one thing. It's time for the fixture difficulty decoder. Now listen, colours can influence our emotions, our perceptions, and even our behaviours, which is often good and bad for FPL. Often you might see a green fixture in there and you think, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to straight attack that. But is that really the case? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to delve through the fixtures and try and find those hidden little gems of games that ultimately is going to help our FPL teams and get us up higher in that leaderboard than we would like to be. Listen, if you enjoy the stream, if you value the stream, by the way, the stream is very, very valuable. We already talked about Spurs beating Man City, which we predicted, and we already predicted Sunderland to beat West Ham. So there is massive value in the FDR decoder. Again, while you're listening, like, sub, all that kind of good stuff, and put your comments in below. On Fridays, we like kind of chilling out a little bit more. We don't have Kieran. We're throwing the shackles off. And listen, grab a wee coffee and come on in. So, in the chat, again, thanks for everyone coming in. So we've got Com, we've got Geddy, we've got loads in here. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to get stuck straight in. It's Friday. It's a busy day. Let's just get on with it. So the website that I do use for it is Fantasy Hub. And people are going to be like, oh, he's gone to the dark side. He's gone there slightly. But no, listen, it's horses for courses, really, isn't it? It depends what you're into. It's a really good website. I'm not sponsored by them, but it's linked in the description below if you want to use it. And that's what we're going to do is we're just going to talk through the fixtures. Now, the reason why I created this was I used to look at the FDR and I used to think, there's a green fixture. You know, life gets in the way, work gets in the way of FPL sometimes. I don't know if that's a thing, but sometimes it does. And sometimes, you know, you don't have that much time to look at it and you see that green fixture and you go, do you know what? I'm going to bring a defender in and I'm also going to bring an attacker in. But quite often, is that the case? Now, it has changed a little bit. You can see in here. So there's not just like a light green or a dark green fixture. All right. They have changed the colours a little bit. They've kind of gone from maybe white in the middle to green, you know, maximum green, and then all the way down to red for a hard fixture. But again, it really depends if we own attack or defence in that team. And ultimately, it's the same for the fixture that we're going to attack. You know, and that's the tricky thing. What I like about Fantasy Hub as well is if you see in a proper talk about Fantasy Hub, I'm not. By the way, I'm not sponsored by them, but yeah, it's the stars. And for someone who put like Championship Manager and stuff like that, I love that because it's easy. You know, I'm a very kinesthetic learner. I like seeing the pictures. Some people might say stupid. I'll say kinesthetic. And yeah, it kind of helps us the stars, you know, straight away, you know 5 stars, let you play with FIFA. 5 stars is good. 1 star here, it's like for West Ham defence, is bad. Now, this is put for game week 6 to 11, which is pretty good. So you have to take it kind of with a pinch of salt when we change it. But I don't really think, unless you're on a free hit or a wild card, which some people maybe are this week, you'll still get value out of it. But you still want to set your team up for a little bit of the long haul. So I think that's why we've set it to 6. As we go along, we might even change it. We might even change it to 1 game week. But I think for now, we'll leave it in there. Just a good morning to a few people in the chat. Jackie, thank you very much for joining us. Geddy, how are you doing, mate? Good morning. He's off work today. Oh, Geddy, you lucky guy. He's going to watch football and the Ryder Cup. Did you book that off when you knew the Ryder Cup was going on? Listen, thanks for joining us. And again, just going along. If you like the stream, just give it a wee like. So, we're just going to get stuck straight in here. And if you've never come to the Decoder, that's basically what we do. Sometimes I have people opposite me, whether it be Kieran. We've had Nightmare on the show. We've had D-Unit. Had some very, very good people on the show. But also I do like going solo. And today I am solo. So we're nice and chilled. I've got my coffee. I'm just going to get stuck straight into it. We'll keep the best ones to last. But we'll kick it off with Aston Villa Fulham, which, listen, in hindsight, people might be You might think on the forefront, yeah, do you know what? That's a boring game. But listen, the pressure's on. Aston Villa won last night, 1-0. If you have Ollie Watkins in your team, I would ask you one question. Why? This is from a guy who had him at the start. I think I had him for the first 2 game weeks. And I just didn't like what I seen. And, it's 5 games down. They won their first game last night, but fantastic. I'm pretty sure Big John McGinn scored. So, Scottish representation, I like it. But, yeah, Ollie Watkins missed the penalty. And they're not really clicking. It's not because I hate Aston Villa or anything. I've even got Rodgers in my team. Newsflash, we're going to see our teams, or my team at the end. And he is going to come out because I just don't like what I see from Villa. And this is why we've got to come in and change this decoder. Look, at the moment, it's attack 5 stars and defence is 2.5. Okay, defence you probably agree. But attack for Aston Villa, 5 stars. Niche, nada, nay. So that's just not going to fly. It's got Fulham like a lightish green. Not as good as Burnley, but lightish green, which I just don't see. I really just don't see. So let's have a wee click in here. Let's have a look. So they've got Aston Villa to score 2 goals and concede 1.5. Now listen, this is why we do this. That's not set. I know they have different models and everything like that, but I think the most fans could agree. I don't think they're going to score 2. I know they're at home. I get that. But for me, that's going to come down. Now it's not going to come down severely. But I think just over the 1 mark. They've only scored 2 goals this season. None from strikers. John McGinn were in the cup, but they've not scored. The only person that scored in FPL is Matty Cash. Which, if you listen to FPL Elite and Jason, he had Matty Cash the other day. Congratulations. I don't know what he's doing with Matty Cash's team, but hasn't it paid off? So, what do I know? But yeah, I think we're going to bring that down. We're going to bring that down to 1.2. And like I'm saying, as we're going along playing the chat, and you tell me what you think as well. Because we're a team. We're in this together. 1.2. I don't think I'll leave it there. I think goals conceded. Fulham away from home. They set up well, don't they? Fulham are solid. You know what you're getting with Fulham. I'd say there's still a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde team. At home, they're a little bit more secure. But, yeah, I still think they score in this. I really do. So, Villa to score, I've got 1.2, and Fulham to score. I think we're going to leave it there. I think we're going to leave it at 1.4. I like what I see from Fulham, especially King, the young lad going forward. Fantastic, exciting, especially for the England national team. And yeah, I think I'll leave it there. So what we'll do is we'll click off that. So 1.2 and 1.4, and you can see there it's completely changed. What we'll do is we'll update Fulham. So I've got them to score 1.4 and then concede 1.2. I like this music as well. Talk to me about the music. Yeah, so listen, you see straight away, 1 attack and still 2.5 defence. Okay, yeah, you could have a defender, but you're definitely not going to have an attacker. Now, for someone like me who has Rodgers, it's not going to come in. I'm going to take him out anyway. But if you look here, the Fulham Aston Villa, that's gone from like a hard red, kind of like this one, to like an orangey, almost into fading into a green. So, and the Fulham attack's went up as well, 2-star and 3-star. So, though you probably wouldn't have an attack from Fulham unless you have King, you probably have a defender now. Anderson, defensive contribution points and all that kind of stuff. But straight away, look at that. In one fixture, it could completely change the shape of your team. A few in the chat then. Jackie said, sold him last night. Yeah. Do you know what? I've not been making any early moves this season. I think value-wise, we're pretty happy. And there's not really a template team. And I always think, one of my views is, I think there's not always an option. Obviously, you might be priced slightly out of a sort of midfielder or a striker, but I think this season there is enough. Unless you're maybe down by, I don't know, a mil and a half. I think there's always an option. Coffee is important. See what Geddy's saying. Rodgers was awful as well last night. Thank you very much, Geddy. I didn't see that. It's cemented my decision to take him out now, which is good. And just listen, when the team's not scoring many goals, I mean, I did look at the ratings, and he did look one of the worst. So that's good info. If you're Villa fans, either watching this now, or watching it back, again, let me know what you think. I think he's overcomplicated things, Emery. He had a good structure. I see they played Bogard and defensive midfield the other day. Okay, Bogard's an okay player, but I think he's just trying to do too much. And I think he just needs to go back to simple, what he was doing before. And I think he might even do that this week. I've got a feeling he might just revert back to what he knows, what the players know, and they might get a result. Listen, it's tough against Fulham. Home or away. Gary said, same Jackie, I hit the wildcard button a few days ago. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of people on wildcard. If you are, let me know who you brought in, who you haven't brought in. And Jackie used her one free transfer. Yeah, I mean, I've got 3. So I'm in a good position for once, because usually I let them go. Anyway, so yeah, you can see in that first fixture, it changes things. And it will change the players that we want to bring in, whether if you've been looking all week or whether, you're a little bit of a chilled player, you just take it easy and you just want to look Friday night or a few hours before. The perception's huge, it's much different. Man City Burnley, we'll leave that there and we'll come back. West Ham Everton now. This it's quite an interesting one. I think West Ham done better than what I thought last week against Crystal Palace, namely because I had double Palace defence. It was a little bit frustrating. I seen the goal and it was a little bit sloppy from Palace. I mean, listen, West Ham do normally score at home, so you can't take that away from them. But another defeat, the pressure is growing and growing and growing. And I know we keep saying it, but I think if he loses, he's gone. And it's a daunting task. It is a daunting task. Away to Everton. If I'm correct, they've not conceded a goal at the new stadium yet, I think. And yeah, it's an uphill task. So you look straight away here, look. West Ham, 2 attack, 1 defence. And Everton, 1.5 and 1.5 on both. Now, again, we know ball. You all know ball, team. That's not right. How is West Ham ahead of Everton? Can't be. They can't be. So, yeah, I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to change that. We are. So we're just going to delve in. You can see there's an orange for West Ham play Everton, which I believe it is. And Everton is like a light green fixture. Let's have a gander in here. West Ham. By the way, if the stream is a little bit slow, it's just my internet. In Scotland. It's slow, dial up. The struggle is real. So they've got 1.4 goals scored and 2 against. Now, 2 against, I could probably get on board with. I probably want to rate it up a bit. From what I've seen Everton this season, they're going to concede slightly more, but they're going to score slightly more, which is better for them. They're going to win more games. And I think they're going to be fairly, away from that bottom 3. So I'm going to pump this up a little bit. I like what I see from Everton attack. I really, really do. And Jai, I watched the highlights again from last week. And he's just the main guy, isn't he? He is the main guy, if you will. Dad joke. I know, I'll say that one. So, yeah, I'm going to pop up there. I think, do you know what? I think we'll go 2.4. I was thinking 2.5, but I'll chill a little bit. Listen, West Ham are there for taking. They could. Goals scored. I'm going to bring them down. It's Everton. I'm going to go under 1. I want to go 0.8. Do you know what? Oh, let's go 0.7. I'm feeling it. So 0.7 and 2.4. So then if we come down to Everton, we change that for them. So 2.4. And then 0.7. And let's have a look at that. Now, look at this, ladies and gents. This is where the FDR, the fixture decoder, comes in. Before, they had the same, and West Ham had a better attack. And now, West Ham have got half a star and half a star for both, which is probably about right. It's a solid red-green fixture. It's away to Everton. That's now more correct. And if you come down and look at Everton, I never thought I'd say this, but they've got a 5-star attack and 4.5 defence. And listen, I agree with that. I really do agree with that. And straight away, look, that's given us a solid green fixture where we can think on our head, do you know what? Yes. I am going to attack that fixture. I am going to bring an Everton defender in. Now, for me, I think Tarkowski, I do want him in. I do. But I think it comes down to the fixture that you're going to play. The fixture and the formation, really. I don't think it's time for him yet. I don't think it's time for him yet. I'll tell you what it is time. It's time for Mike. How are you doing this morning, mate? Thank you for joining us. Again, as you're coming in, just drop your comments. Tell me what you're drinking. I'm having a little vanilla latte. Fantastic. Absolute stupendous, as a certain boxer would say. But yeah, straight away, look, I mean, that makes you want to get an Everton player, whether it be attack or defender, in. It has value. The Decoder has value, and that's the main thing. Right, we're on to Leeds Bournemouth. Right. You know, in this fixture, I think people are getting a bit carried away with Leeds. I really do. They've still only scored 2 goals from open play. If you had stats last week, congrats. A certain trigger lips had him. But I'd like to hold him to account for that. There was only one reason why I had him in. Maybe a certain other individual along the name of Ben Crellin had him in. So listen, if you want to copy a D, you know, I'll be laughing now. Want to copy other teams? That's fine. That's fine. And hey, listen, you got an assist and a goal, so it was a great return. But still, they've only scored two goals from open play. One was Calvert-Lewin, so let's bring this temperature down a little bit. Listen, it was a great result, but Wolves, they didn't have help them. They literally gave the ball away constantly. Agbadou gave the ball away constantly, and you just can't do that, whether home or away, because you just get punished by any team in the Premier League. So let's go on. So Leeds, 1.5 and 3. All right, against Bournemouth. Now, 3 stars against Bournemouth attack. I do not believe it, sir. Let's go and have a gander. Leeds to score 1.3. Let's get that puppy down right to the now. Listen, if I've got West Ham scoring 0.7, I have to have Leeds scoring less. At least West Ham have scored a few from open play. So I'm going to have to go 0.5. I know they're at home, I get it. But defence, again, as I was watching the highlights, there's a lot of stationary in their back line. And I think whoever plays them this week, pretty sure it is Leeds got. Let me just check. It's Bournemouth. Of course, it's Bournemouth. You can get that striker that gets in between those 2 centre backs, fits in there. An Evan Nielsen or even a Semenyo drifting. I think he could do damage. So the 1.2 is way. I think I'm going to have to go 2.5. Click off of that. And look at that. Straight away, it's changed it. Let's double check that. 0.5 and 2.5. So let's go down to Bournemouth. To score 2.5. And this is the thing, like it's hard, like life gets in the way of stuff, you know. It's hard to keep a track all the time, so this is why we do this on Friday. It's fresh in our mind, and it might put new things in our mind of like, oh, do you know what, actually that game, it might be a little bit tighter than what I think, and it is worthwhile. So look at that straight away, bam, Bournemouth 5 and 5, which I think we can agree. I've got Senesi and I also have Petrovic. And I'm kind of toying with, do I play a double defence instead of the double Spurs defence? Because even though they got Wolves, you know, I kind of like Wolves going forward. So, yeah, and again, if you come up here, look, Leeds half a star, and now it's a bright red fixture, which I believe it is. It should be. I think it's going to be a battering. I really do. I don't really see... I mean, we could have done predictions went along, but I don't see anything other than... a 3 now, maybe even a 4 now. I think people are going to be brought back down to earth of Leeds. Fantastic, they won their first game last week, but they're not going to win this week. I do not think so. Right, on the next one, Chelsea, Brighton. Chelsea 5-star attack, 2.5 defence. Yeah, we're about right. And then Brighton, 2.5 attack, 2 defence. I'd say that's not far off. I'd say it's not far off. I think for me this year, I'll put more onus on home and away, and I didn't as much before, or not as weighted anyway, not as percentile. But now I am. I know you've got like the strong, Liverpool at home, City at home, but even the smaller clubs, your Brentfords, your Evertons, your Sunderlands this season, you've got to take it in consideration. So let's have a gander. Let's see what hub I've got. They've got Chelsea score 2 and concede 1.4. I don't think it's far off. I don't. I am, however, going to change it slightly. I'm going to go 2.2 because I think Chelsea, especially, they've got the strongest team out. I think they're pretty naughty on the break. And goals against. Do you know what? This could be the team. This could be the team in the fixture where I clip this and go, do you know what? Brighton were due a battering. And I think they are due a battering. I keep seeing them and I'm like, against Spurs, they got fairly lucky with the goals. I'm sure Brighton fans, people like us, and I don't want to hear that, but I do. I think they're due a battering, and Hurtzler, I don't know. He's a good coach. I just think there's a few times they look so shaky, so fragile. So I'll keep 2.2 to score, but against, for them to score, I think I'm just going to go to the 1. 2.2 and then 1. So then let's go down to Brighton. Let's change that. Put that to 1. And then 2.6. Oh, too crazy. 2.2. Let's have a look at that fixture now. Look at that. Look straight again. Half star. I don't think there's many people with Brighton players in the team, except Kieran with Rooter. Yeah, the Rooter, I got that early shout. I kind of got it. But I think we're trying to be too clever, won't we? We all try and be too clever, and we think, I'm going to get this guy in. He's playing out of position. And it never really works like that, unfortunately. We come back up Chelsea. Look, 5-star attack, 3.5 defence. The defence is still a little bit shaky. And what I've seen from Chelsea as well, they overcommit. They really do. They overcommit. Especially Chalobah at the back. I mean, listen, Roberto's got him and he scored a few goals, fantastic. And that's propped his points up. That's pushed his points up more than what I think he should be. But yeah, quite often they will way overcommit. And especially on the break, if they play in a counter-attack team, which, hey, listen, actually, I can do a counter-attack, so maybe there is a goal in there. Just a few little shouts for people in the chat. Fpl D unit, yes, let's go. Aussies, I'm in the chat. I'm in D unit's Aussie chat, and it's good. Banterific, I would say. It's very good in there. You should join it. It's fantastic. If you're not checked out D unit's videos, by the way, go and check them out. He breaks away from the cartel. Kind of like myself. We're not sheep. We're not followers. Not all the time. No, and yeah, I like his videos. They're good. They're different, and he'll call the people out. He doesn't give a you know what, which is good. And especially people making the same move. He'll call it out even if he doesn't think it's right. So yeah, go check him out. He's fantastic. Hello, Phantom. Mike says, rushing through work so I can watch the Ryder Cup all afternoon. Well, listen, thank you for joining us. First thing. Kieran is here. We're talking about the Ryder Cup. Yeah, talking about the golf. D Unit said both teams score, I reckon. Yeah, I just maybe I've got that in my head, or maybe I've got that in my mind of they're going to get Brighton or due a battering. And I think how solid Chelsea are in that midfield, it gives them so much cover as well at the back. So I felt like they wouldn't really score against Spurs, but the own goal, and I think they're a bit fortunate. And hopefully this week, when I don't play a back five, there's more clean sheets. That was a nightmare. Kieran says elevator music. Do you like it? I think it's good. Depends what kind of elevator you're in, I suppose. But yeah, actually, D Unit says Minta is going to exploit when Chalobah goes wandering. Yeah, it's a good point. And actually, this is as we're talking, as we're engaging. Actually, I'd maybe change that. I mean, I don't think I would bring a Brighton player in, apart from maybe Minta or Matoma, because they do play. But what I did notice is they change a lot. Hurtzler changes a lot, and he make a lot of subs. He kind of makes 2 clumps of subs. And I think he changes too much, and that's maybe why Spurs got back into the game. There wasn't any continuity in that. He kept changing and changing. And listen, Milner's been a fantastic servant at Premier League. He's a legend. But when you're bringing him on in centre mid, you're going to lose a lot in the game. Gary, how you doing? Yeah, and Phantom. Yeah, Phantom. Yeah, no dramas. If you put your team in here, you let us know who you got. Any questions, we'll get at the end. Yeah. Type it out. D-Unit will help you as well, mate. In fact, D-Unit probably help me more, mate. Pop that in the chat and we'll chat it. Because we're going to chat through teams at the end as well. Where were we? Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to stick with that. They've got light green fixture. I think they will win it. I think they will. Spurs Wolves. Let's talk about it. I think this is going to be a battering. I own... I don't... It's Friday Madness. That was a chicken. That was a rooster. That was Richarlison. I've got him. He's only 15% owned. I think you could... I think... This might get clipped, but I think he might outscore Haaland this week. I know that's insane. I know. Put in the chat that that's insane, but I think it's a real possibility. Now let's have a look in here. Spurs 1.6 to score against the leaky Wolves and 1.4 concede. Now again, I think these are wrong. They're wrong. So let's go. I'm probably going to go 2.4 is what I was thinking. Look at that. Bam, straight on. And I'll keep that on there. I think they'll score about 2.4. Concede 1.4. Niche. Not at home. I think it was Kieran actually. Kieran's in the chat. People didn't realise until, start of season, Spurs aren't Spursy anymore. Oh, okay. They'll always be Spursy, but they're less Spursy. They're going to close games out. Thomas Frank is a fantastic manager. He is, and he's brought so much more balance to that team. Granted, Ange was in there, so there was no balance. It was, when you listen to your stereo and you actually go into the balance, and you have like the bass and the treble. And I bet you Ange on his stereo, he plays everything 100, just one side. There's no in between Ange. He's full, even the volume. So, yeah, going back to what we're saying, they're solid. They are fairly solid. Brighton, okay, they did score 2 goals against them, but I think they were harsh. So a bit of run of play. So Wolves are having a bit of an issue. I do like them going forward, and this is maybe why I'm going to play Bournemouth double, because I think there's something in me, especially if Strand Larson starts. I'll rate him. I think he could get one. So I'll tell you what, instead of 0.8, we'll go 0.9, and we'll have a little look at that. Look at that, 5-star attack, 4-star defense, which everyone kind of knows anyway, don't they? Let's change that. So we'll go 0.8, 0.9, and then 2.4. I like this music. Dun, dun. I'll tell you whose music you need. And actually, let's discuss this. Alf. Free Alf. Alf PL. I'd say go and have a look at him on X, but he's banned just now. And not because he's done anything wrong or he's posted anything. I mean, you can see whatever you want on X anyway, but yeah, he's just shared some FPL managers and their scores. So, and that's what he's been banned for. So listen, hashtag free Alf. Alf, he might be listening. He's been on the show before. If he is listening, mate, we've got you back. So you look at there straight away. Look, that fixture changed. It was a light green fixture. Now it's a dark green fixture. Which, listen, Spurs are going to win that game. They will win that game. Wolves, now, half-star and half-star. Why anybody had Agbadou. I think the defensive contributions can go to some people's head. And it did go to some people's head on that. He might come good. They've got a fantastic run of fixtures. I mean, apart from Tottenham, they've got Brighton, Sunderland, Burnley, Fulham, Chelsea. So it's not as best. I don't think it's as good as Spurs, but it might level them a little bit. They have had some tough fixtures to play. Okay, we'll delve through a few of these and then we can get to the teams. So, Everton, Palace, Liverpool. Let's do it at Palace, Liverpool. They've got Palace to score 2. I mean, they're at home and goals against. Right, I think two's extreme. I think this is going to be a very, very tight game, actually. I really do. Liverpool quite leaky, and this is why I've got Munoz and Lacroix. I'm not really sure to play. I want to play Munoz for the upside, for the goal, but And he could get in behind. He was so high. I watched him again over the highlights, and he's literally a winger. He's like Sal up there, but better. Yeah, I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to keep it above the 1 mark. I'm going to go 1.3. Goals against, though, going to go slightly higher. Obviously, Isaac will start because Ekitike was taking his shirt off for subpar goals that I probably score better goals on a Saturday morning. Yeah, listen, I think youth got the best of them there. But goals against, let's get this up a bit. 1.8. I'm happy with that. We'll go 1.8. So 1.3 and 1.8. Let's go and change that for Liverpool. Oh, there you go. At the bottom. Don't say that often, do you? 1.8. 1.3 has changed. There you go. Oh, it's adapting. Skynet is taking over. So look, you see that there? It's gone from like a bit of a greeny or a reddy, and it's kind of going into that white, kind of that unknown realm. But yeah, listen, Liverpool attack's fantastic. Defence, I have had thoughts. I have had certain thoughts. I have had visions of getting rid of Van Dijk. I have, because I don't think he's really repaying. 6 mil. He's good to set and forget. He is. But they're leaking goals again and again and again. I'd love to know what you think. Put in the chat, even if you watch this back, let me know. I might get ahead of the curve and get rid of him. Good morning, Shane from FPL Nightmare. Andrew, good morning, my friend. Good morning. He's been on here before. Actually, Andrew was on here when we said that Spurs would beat Man City, and Andrew got the correct score. So he's another individual. If you've not checked him out, up for an award. Go check out his content. Absolutely fantastic. Very different from what you see, the kind of normal, not dredgy team, but the normal, right, this is my team, blah, blah, blah. He puts some emotion, put some emphasis, put some style into it. Dare I say style, Andrew? Yep, so do go and check his content out. He's up for an award as well, so if you want to vote for him, get that voted. What we'll do is we'll kind of get through these last 3 or 4. But yeah, listen, you can see that there straight away. Palace now, they were 4.5 stars attack, now there's 1.5. I think Mateta's a little bit in and out, isn't he? He's a bit... Nah. And especially with... I think Pino's out. We'll have to see today for the team news, but I think Pino's out. And Sarr, if he is back, or even if he's just back from injury, he's not going to play the whole game. So I think they're going to be quite blunt. And actually, the thing is, as we're chatting this through, they want to keep it tight, but I can actually probably see a Liverpool going back to their closing games out way, a 1 or 2-0 for Liverpool. I think they'll be fairly tight. It's just the issues, the wing-backs. You know, the wing-backs haven't performed as anybody thought this season. But yeah, might freshen them up a bit. And Palace are a little bit blunt. They didn't really finish West Ham off how I wanted last week anyway. You know, we went 2 up and then had a few chances at the crossbar. Kieran had LaCroix. He almost got a big return from that, but yeah, it's not really how I thought. And now, actually, if you look at the fixtures, here. They've got Liverpool, Everton, Bournemouth, Arsenal. That's a difficult run. So, listen, the LaCroix pick, he's never back. He's just going to get DC points. But really, first and foremost, we've got to go, and D-Unit will back me up in here, we've got to go for the clean sheets. You know, I get the defensive contribution, but we have to, you want to combine them with the defensive contribution and the clean sheet points. Right, Newcastle Arsenal, let's go. This will be a difficult game. I remember years ago when they were 4-0 up and then it came back to 4-4. Fantastic game. It's a tough one. They've got a good record against Arsenal. I just feel like Arsenal they've added a lot. And even though Madueke is now out with an injury, Eze has to start surely. I mean, the other day against City, I think he kind of bottled it a little bit, played too safe and played Trossard, and Trossard got thrown about by Kusanov, who's a standing right back. So Eze has to play, and I think he probably ends up making a difference. He isn't my team, so maybe that's what I think. But let's have a look here. Newcastle, Andrew, if you're still listening, mate, you tell me what you think the score is going to be. I've seen a lot of people talk about Captain and Gordon. Who knows? Can it be round 2, Andrew? Round 2. Oh, I'd love that. Imagine that. I'd love it. I'd love if we beat them. So they got 1.6 score and concede 1.2. They're both a little bit high, to be honest. I mean, against the best defence in the league. We'll bring this down. I know it's in James's Park, but it'll be tight. So we'll go 1.2. And do you know what? I think we'll go slightly higher. We'll go 1.6. They've not given away much chances or expected goals, Newcastle, but I just feel there's not much emphasis there, and they need a bigger squad. Sure, Andrew agrees. They need a way bigger squad, and it's hard with the rules. You know, if they're not bringing as much money in with fair play rules, it's difficult for a club like Newcastle just now. But 1.2, 1.6. Let's have a look at Arsenal. I hate all the big teams. Let's go 1.6. And then 1.2. Oh, look at that straight in. And then let's see what we got there. Yeah, Arsenal 3-3. I'd say that's pretty solid for their attack defence. Instead of like a more red, it's more kind of gone into an orange, a warm, nay, a neutral colour. And Newcastle, look, I don't think many people own their attack. Wilf Amadi, I'm pretty sure, is still out. Listen, Wilf Amadi, he looked okay, but if you think he's the answer, he's not the answer. You need someone else. Viss is out for another month and a half, so it's difficult there. You're going to have some stand-ins. I like Gordon. If he starts Gordon as 9, which he could be, then, like Andrew's saying, redemption. I'd love it. I'd love it. If Andrew, he's listening, chat, if he does that, we have to get Kevin Keegan's body and that interview and then put Andrew's head on it. I'd love it if Gordon scored. I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it. He's in the chat just now, actually. Geddy says, oh, this is harsh, Geddy. He says, Gordon red again. Geddy, you. Oh, God, on a Friday. Oh. Dino says, he's not got any Newcastle just now, but he's going to bring in Byrne. For Andrew. Just for Andrew. That's nice here. Listen, I did say D-Unit was a nice guy. He's just doing it for Andrew. Plus, I think he's a great pick. But he wants to do it for Andrew. Yeah, the Byrne, I don't get the Byrne pick. I mean, he's good, he's solid. I feel like there's a game. And it could be this game where Eze just turns him inside out and breaks his ankles. I don't mean physically, like attacks him or 2-foots him. I mean he just can't keep up with the way that Eze turns left, right, round, up, down, everything. Yeah, it could be this game. It could be this game. A little bit insight from Andrew, actually, while we're here. Oslo has more non-penalty goals than Isaacs. It's the Carabao Cup final. There you go. Wolf Amadi, he seems more of a Bergkamp than an Ian Wright. Oh my goodness. I mean, we could talk about comparing apples and pears. People were talking about Wolf Amadi being like a tall Messi. Now he's a Bergkamp. Now he's an Ian Wright. I love it. I love it. He thinks Wolf Amadi and Vissa will end up playing as a duo. Yeah. And actually, I think that could work, actually. Kind of, it's like a crouchy duo, isn't it? The old school, like, kind of Stokey. The Crouch Mark II. I'd love to see it. I think Viss is actually a better player than what people give him grants for. Anyway, Newcastle, there you go. It's a hard fixture. Right, we're kind of scampers. We've got about 35 minutes. You know, Nottingham Forest, Sunderland. It's a tough game. Forest are at home, but they've got Ange. You know, they've got Ange. You see the other day again, they were 2-0 up against Betis, and then they got dragged back to 2-2. Igor Jesus up top looks very good. I think Wood, if you got Wood, you might want to start thinking about getting him out. Because, yeah, his days are numbered. Right, they've got 1.2 to score against Sunderland and 1.1 against. I think they run the wrong way, to be honest. But I think we're probably going to go about the same. 1.4 score. I think they will score, but it's the issue of can they keep a clean sheet? I seen even in the cup the other day, they were so high. And again, from last week, they've got about 2 people in the back line. Milinkovic, who is not fast, and one other. Williams is still pushed pretty high. Yeah, against the counter-attack team, Sunderland, I mean, they have done it this season. They have, and I think they could still be susceptible for it. So I'll go 1.4 score. And you know what? I'm probably going to go just slightly more. I'm going to go 1.6 against. Let's go to Sunderland. 1.6 score. And 1.4 concede. Sunderland are away. They drew with Palace last game away. I said pre-season that Sunderland would stay up, and some people thought that was very silly. I mean, listen, we're only a little bit into the game, into the season, so they could absolutely implode. But I think they've done all right with the amount of new players they've got. They've actually integrated well, and the manager actually he's doing better than what I thought. But yeah, look there, gone from a dark green to a light green, almost a neutral. So yeah, be careful. If you've got Forest players, of course you're going to play them, but I wouldn't be choosing any yet. I wouldn't be choosing any. Yeah, and you can see up here. I mean, both of them. Look at the fixtures. Both of them I got, especially Sunderland. Jeez, that's a hard run. Yeah, so I'd wait out on Sunderland. Who have we not covered? We've done West Ham. Man City we will keep last because it's quite intriguing. Brentford, Man United. Let's go. Let's have a gander at this. In fact, let's have a gander at Man United before we click onto that. Where are they? There they are. 2-star attack, 1 defense. Actually, I think that's wrong. Some people think I hate Man United. I don't. I don't. I wish they would get back to the glory days, but it's not going to happen soon. If you haven't caught the video that we done the team matchups, Kieran spoke quite in length actually about Amarin and about how he thinks it could be his last game and what implications that has moving forward for fixtures wise. But in the meantime, Brentford, United attack 1.4 and then concede 2. It's a little bit harsh. And maybe they're the wrong way around. I think they're going to go higher. Brentford, I still don't think they'll go down. I think they've got enough. But they will concede goals. They are at home, so we've got to keep that in our minds. And United are better at home than they are away. So, but then you've got the added spice of Mbeumo coming back. He's looked really good. I'm kind of toying with getting him this week. I think I'll probably end up getting Bruno because he's got so many more routes to points, and he's playing higher, very, very higher than he has been at the start of the season. But yeah, do you know what? I'm going to go 2 for this, and then against just under. I think go 1.6. Look at that! Bam! We're on it. 1.6. So look at the attack. It was 2 stars. Now it's 5-star attack. And yeah, I think Mbeumo. I think the tier, it'd be difficult. I'd say Mbeumo and Fernandes are both together. Maybe Fernandes slightly higher, and then Cunha. Again, if you've got Cunha, you're going to play him, but I don't think you're going to move to him. But yeah, straight away, look at that. 5-star attack, 2 defense. I think they will concede 2 and 1.6. So let's look at Brentford. 1.6 to score and 2. And this is what we're doing here. The value. I tell you what is gonna make them worry United, and actually they might even score from it, is the long throw-ins from Brentford. I genuinely think, I mean, we know what the Man United keepers are like anyway in the back line sometimes. You throw a big throw in there, some big guys, you've got Pinnock, you've got Hickey, you've got Collins. I think they could cause a rumpus and a stir in there. But yeah, I still think Man United come out in the end. Burnley, so I think are we done? I think we're done. I think we've covered them all. Just got to dip into the chat before we go back up. Onions, thank you very much for. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Yeah, get these back in. The United click this week. Yeah, the unit's been chatting about it. I think so. Andrew says Trigger Lips has been raving about GW6 for weeks. Yeah, he has. He looks good. He does look good. Looks more mobile. He just gives you more instead of wood. And he's very cheap. Very cheap. Onion said, speaking of Jesus, got to be in the watch list. Yeah. Oh, he's on there, baby. He's on the watch list. Right, let's come to it. Chat, put all what you think in the description. But Man City, Burnley. It's tough. I am in a pickle, as Anchorman would say. 2.5 star, 2.5 star. Do we think that's the case? Dark green. I don't think that's the case. Let's have a look. Man City at home. 1.5 to score. Right, get that up. And 1.5 concede. Get that down. It's got to be close to 3, isn't it? I think we've got to go 2. We'll go 2.8. And against... Listen, I could see them concede. The big difference now in the back line is Donnarumma. Listen, if you don't watch highlights, just type in Donnarumma save from Mbeumo when the derby was on a few weeks ago, and what a save. There's not many times where you'll be watching a football game and a save will make you stand up, or for me, make me look at my son and go, what a save. We both looked at each other and went, wow. And that's what he's in there for. And I think he showed the defensive lineup. They've got a little bit more confidence in the line. Okay, it's not, if you look at the back four, it's not solid. It's not, you can still get at them, but Donnarumma at the back makes a difference. I'm not saying Edison was bad, not at all, not in the slightest, but he just brings that added. I mean, he's about 7'10", isn't he? You know what I mean? I think if he like falls, and puts his hands out, he touches both posts. So yeah, but that save the other day was fantastic, and that's what he's been brought in for. I was quite sceptical of the move, but I think he's decent. We have to go under. You know, it's Burnley away from home. I don't think we're going to concede much. I think we're going to go 0.5. And look at that attack and defence straight up. There's a lot of people talking about getting a defender this week. I don't think it's time. I think people are talking about Gvardiol. I think D-Unit was talking about Gvardiol. He was maybe the one. For me, I don't think it's the time yet. But yeah, I mean, it's the no one's thing that 5 attack, 5 defence. Put in the chat as well, what do we think on Foden? Because I'm getting, I've got too many transfers. And I'm getting, look at me, I kind of want to put him in. But I know what to do. I know he'll hurt me, just like last season. And the season before that, before his fantastic season. I don't think we can trust him. I don't think we can. So 2.8 and then score 0.5. And then we're going to Burnley. Bring that. I don't know why it's so high for Burnley to score. I mean, they have been scoring quite a few. I mean, Anthony's really good. 2.8. And then, yeah. Let's have a look at Burnley. Yeah, I mean, half a star. Dark red fixture. Of course it is. But yeah, if we look at the points there, you know, or the supposed points, and again, this is for 6 to 11. So, I mean, they still have Villa top. You know, and this is what me and especially D-Unit and Andrew say, you have to think yourself. You know, these models are not correct. Quite often I'll see predicted points and they won't get anywhere near. Namely, that'll be Salah or anybody else. They won't get anybody anywhere near. And that's what I like about football. You can't overly predict it. Because how boring would it be if you overly predicted it, right? It would be boring. D-Unit said Anthony to score. Oh, nightmare. See, if he was on here, we could have worked. He said, I'd give Burnley a 0.1 just because there's always a chance Donnarumma air kicks a bad pass. Yeah. Or if you could put it there like 0.01, you never know. Dino said United have signed the wrong Anthony. They have, mate. They have. Who actually, I think he got a goal and assist against Spurs the other day. So, yeah, it's like... Yeah, D-Unit, again, put in the chat, guys, or girls, or if you're watching back, I'd love to know what everyone thinks, because people are thinking this is going to be a battering. Listen, I own Haaland. The captaincy... Oh, look at me, I'm thinking about changing captaincy. I don't know, I want to see what Pep says. I think either way, he's going to take him off at about 65, 70 minutes. I really do. Do you remember when he scored 4? I think last season, the season before, he took him off and he was raging. I mean, you got 3 points in the bag against Burnley. Do you need him on? You've got like 3 games in 8 days coming up. You don't need him. And for me, I'm not going to use a triple captaincy. I want to use it on a midfielder. I think it's just slightly more upside. Listen, it doesn't matter. If you can get a player that scores and use a triple captaincy, it's a return. Talking of triple captaincy, I used it on the late great, well, not late great, he's still playing, but Kevin De Bruyne. In a double game week, guess how many points he got? Just let that hang. 1 point. One game he missed, and the next one he came on for the last 15 minutes. Got me 3 points. Worst triple captain ever. Hopefully I don't repeat that season, but yeah, Com's gone 3-0. Andrew, I think Andrew went 2-0, or is it D-Unit? Yeah, put more scores in there, see what everybody thinks. Yeah, I think a 3-0. The good thing I do have Reinders. I think Reinders could get quite a bit of return. I wouldn't captain him, but no, I wouldn't captain him. But Yeah, I don't think it's as big as everyone is. They're a low block team sometimes, and City this season sometimes they find it hard to get past those low block teams. Right, before I cover teams, all we're going to do, so my teams, my points from last week in game week 5, and then my game week 6 team and my perceived moves of today or tomorrow. What I want to see is I just want to see. So this is the predicted points just now. I want to see actually. Let's filter this down. 6 to 7. Oh, you can't. God, you need to subscribe. But yeah, you can see that there. We've got Villa top. Predicted points, then City, and then West Ham. I mean, after Everton, Arsenal, like Kieran was saying, they might change the manager, and they got Brentford, Leeds, Newcastle, Burnley. So, and again, listen, if you're watching this back, or if you're thinking, who should I choose? Just remember, fixtures are king. They are king. Let's attack those weaker teams. Your Wolves, your Brighton, especially in terms of conceding away from home. Yeah, your Burnleys, your Leeds. By the way, I think Leeds are for a battering today or tomorrow. Anyway, sorry, Stoop. Stoop was he's a big Leeds fan. Great win last week. I think. Yeah, Andrew's saying if you click 6, let's have a look, shall we? Shall we have a little look? Oh, this is why Andrew's here in the chat. This is why he's here. So we've filtered it for 6. Okay. I mean, look at that straight away. City up top. That's no coincidence. Brentford, Everton, Spurs. And it gives us different perception. This is why we do this. This is the idea I thought about this video, because it's colours influence us in every single day life. And this is why it's important. You can see there, the landscape is far different. Palace way down. Leeds way down. Newcastle way down. Up is Bournemouth, Sunderland, Chelsea. And what I'll do at the end of this, I'll always link in our shouts for this week, our calls for this week, what we think, as we're going along, as we're chatting, what we think could happen in the game. Because, hey, every single time we've done it so far, we've been right on some aspect. I mean, you know, what did they say? Throw enough, you know what, and some of it will stick, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Wade, good morning. If you're not following Wade Wilson, what are you doing? Get on Twitter or X, whatever it calls now, and follow it. Fantastic to have you, mate. Oh, look at this. Before I come into teams, all I'm seeing is Ilman and Dye triple captain. Now, I rate that. I absolutely rate that, because the other day he was good. And I want to put a midfielder. People are just going a little bit too quick now and be like, oh, I'm going to triple captain Haaland. Any return is good. Why have we come in this season now where any return is good? Salah, most expensive player. He's got an assist. Any return is good. No, any return is not good. I mean, first and foremost, you want a return, but a simple assist or 1 goal from your triple captain, we don't want that. We want 2. We want a brace. We want 3. I'd even consider doing Richarlison this week. I really would, if I was going to put the triple captaincy. Saying that, I like Simmons. Simmons is good. I think Simmons could have a very, very good game. But Ilman and Dye, I tell you what, I can see that. He could put the final nail in the Potter coffin, if you will. Do like a Harry Potter. I don't know how to say it. A River Goddess? Something like that. I like Harry Potter. Hey, who doesn't? Get in, just a wee question here. Again, what we'll do is we'll cover teams, and any questions you have or anything about team wrestling, just stack them up. And myself and everyone in the chat, because there's a lot of us in the chat. Again, thank you for coming along. Give us a like, give us a wee subscribe. It all helps the algorithm and the wizard in the box. And it helps, ultimately, us connect more. It's what we do, we connect. Gary says, which player would you rather have, Ndai or Xavi Simmons? D-Unit says, Xavi, I think I'd probably have Ndai. He's the main guy. Oh, Xavi, it's a difficult one. It'd come down to fixtures, but actually, I might even change. It'd maybe be Xavi with the fixtures. Com, thank you. He's always on hand. Com, good morning, mate. Thank you for joining. I want to do the Snape. Avada Kedavra. Avada Kedavra. Nobody clicked that. Andrew says, Indai over Simmons, but Minta over both. Really? We're high on the old Minty Pops, are we? The unit. West Ham we get booked, pull into Juve shirt. Yeah, well. Onions, got a wee question. Help us in the chat, people. Bench 1. King, Luis, or Sarr? Well, I'm pretty sure Luis is injured. It'll come out today, so keep an eye on that, Onions. I wouldn't play him anyway. Aston Villa are dreadful. Oh. So it's between Sarr and King. I'd probably go King. I like him. I like the cut of King's jib. Young players. Good to see those young players, those youth players coming through. So I think I'll go for them. Marwin says, good morning, Marwin. Start Udogie and Van de Ven together. I would. It depends what your bench is. Put in the chat and see what your bench is, mate. But yeah, it's fairly solid. I've got double Spurs backline. I just maybe prefer the Bournemouth double. Just a little bit more solid because I do like Wolves going forward. But then again, Spurs are at home. So I'd play them both, mate. I'd play them both. I'm pretty sure Udogie is going to start. People are talking about Spence starting over Porro, which I'm a little bit worried about. So I do have to consider that today. So yeah, that's what I would play. Right, what we're doing then, we'll quickly go into my team. I had a good week. I had the 3rd green arrow in a row, which, I mean, listen, that's not bad. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Look at this, by the way. What does that say to you? I think it's good graphic. Give myself kudos here. Right, let's have a look at my team. This is last week, got 50 points. Just a quick little recap. I went Petrovic and Senesi for the only clean sheet. Well, Newcastle clean sheet as well, but the only game that had a clean sheet. So that was good. Pedro Porro 1 is becoming an issue, but he's got 2 fantastic fixtures, so I've got to hold him. Munoz captain, fell a bit flat, a bit frustrated. But what can you do? I should have went for Haaland. I should have, but the manager, I always go for the ceiling. I always go for the ceiling games. Virgil at the back, yeah, solid. And LaCroix, he didn't get any contributions this week, but I'm sure he will move forward. The midfield was terrible. Terra-piggles. Usually that's where all my points come from. But yeah, Wirtz, he's going today. He's gone. He's packed his bags. He's off. I do rate him, but you know, if you're 120 million, you've done nothing the first 5 games, you need to start working a little bit harder. Izzy, fantastic. I'm glad I've got him actually. I think moving forward, he's fairly low. I think he's about 20% owned. Rogers, he's gone as well. Newsflash. So there's going to be a big change in my midfield. Haaland up top with 9, and the Pigeon with another 9, which was good. On the bench, Vicario, Gakpo, Reinders with a 9. Yeah, maybe I should have played him over Rogers, but listen, it is what it is. But 50, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'll take it. Right, so set up this week. Again, chat, let us know what you think. I'm always liking to know what you're thinking, chat. Or if you're watching back again, just comment. Again, helps the algo. Onion said, who's your least favourite? Who's your least template pick? Least template pick. Let's have a gander. Well, let's chat through the team. We got Vicario, Pedro Porro, Munoz, Virgil, Senesi for back 4, Reinders, Eze, Rogers, Wirtz for mid 4, and then Haaland, Richarlison. The bench, we've got Petrovic, Gakpo, LaCroix, and Mark Guay. Right, this team's going to change quite a little. I've got 3 free transfers, and I think I'm going to use 2. The 2 I'm going to use is Rogers and Wirtz is out, like I said. I'm going to keep Gakpo, and I might play him, but I think I will keep him for the next few weeks. Bruno Fernandes is going to come in, and I'm pretty sure Semenyo is going to come in against Leeds. I don't think I can not bring him in. He's at the forefront of everything. I think that's who I'm gonna get. Got plenty of money to do it, even though Bruno's a bit more expensive. Got plenty more. And I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll pack up midfield. I like playing 4, or if I can, 5 in mid. But Richarlison this week, I think you can't not play him. I know people talking about Solanke coming back, but he wasn't even on the bench the other day. He was still injured, so he's still away from coming back. So I've got no dramas with that. The one thing I'm wrestling with, again, chat, let us know. I kind of want to play the double Bournemouth defence. I really do. That's a tough one because they could both get clean sheets, but I don't know. Wolves going forward, they're actually not bad. it's just, yeah, it's a tough one. I'd love to hear in the chat what everybody thinks. And let us know in the chat who you've got, who you're thinking of bringing in. Because it's quite a week where there's a lot of change, actually. There is a lot of change. And we've got to be careful of the transfers moving forward now. I know we always have to do, but there's quite a fixture swing. I'm looking now, Arsenal have got a good fixture swing. Chelsea have got a good one coming up as well. So, yeah, we have to think who we bring in. And the bench is important. It is. No, I think that's what I'll do is I'll set up. Now, captaincy. This is the week, right? I still think Haaland will score. Obviously. But I think we've kind of overestimated the fact that City will find it hard to break Burnley, not Burnley, but especially low block teams down this season. So I don't know, I might change it. The question is who to change it to. It'd probably either be Bruno or Semenyo. I could well put it on Semenyo. I could. The other one that's in my mind is I do want Mbeumo, but do I want Mbeumo over Fernandes? I don't think so. He's got so many more routes to points. The bonus points he'll get, higher, and ultimately he's on penalty. I could probably see a penalty in this game. So I'm considering a captain shift. And it's a huge risk, but if it pays off, like Andrew, I'm pretty sure he's still in the chat, if it does pay off, then it's massive. Especially people that have used the triple captainship as well. Listen, every time Haaland's played Burnley, he's battered them. There's too many doubts for me. There is too many doubts. Haaland has never blanked me versus Burnley. I know, but I always like to think of the ceiling. I just, for some reason, I just think he gets one goal today. I think it's maybe that kind of game where we see the Reinders come in, Doku, maybe even a Foden, and share it around a little bit. And he doesn't really seem to get assists. Haaland's not really, he's not an assist guy. He finishes it. So I am contemplating going a little bit different. And the more I'm talking now, I think I'm talking myself into it. Dino says Foden to top score this week. Yeah, it'd probably be that kind of game, wouldn't it? 19-point loading, he says. Do you know what's quite funny? Is I've slated Salah, and quite rightly, he's been terrible. He's been shocking. Okay, he's picked up little scores here and there, but for some reason, there's someone in me that I actually think he'll get quite a good score. I think he'll get like a goal and assist or something. So I'm not really sure. But yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll finish. We've hit the hour mark. We're going to start letting people get back to work because you should be working. I should be working as well. No, I'm off today. I don't work Fridays, which is good. Which is pretty relaxing, isn't it? Abasek says, I think Isaac will score. Yeah, I think he will. As Ekatiki's not there, that's right. Dino says, Foden assist for Haaland, Foden double, calling it. Right, we're clipping this. Dino said, Foden assist for Haaland and a Foden double. It probably will. That's FPL in a nutshell, isn't it? But for now, listen, thank you very much for joining us. We're back every Friday morning, and I don't want to guarantee it, but in fact, no, do you know what? I'm going to put it out there. We'll guarantee it. I'll guarantee that one of the 4 or 5 shouts that we've done this week will come in. So that's why you have to return next week. It's got plenty of value, and ultimately, it's going to help you, your FPL team, and get ahead of every single person, hopefully, in your mini league. Getty, yeah, what Getty says is time for a fry up and a few beers. Oh, I love it. Come on, Europe at the Ryder Cup. Yeah, good luck to Europe at the Ryder Cup. And like Com says, Com's always here. Thank you, Com. He says, don't forget to hit the like on the way out, people. Yeah, thank you very much. Listen, thank you very much for joining my stream today. You made my week already. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll catch you during the weekend for my run and thoughts videos. A little run as I talk about FPL. It's fun. You'll like it. Come along for that. And then again for our team selection or our team matchups next week. But for now, for me, the FPL Double Pivot, for every single person in the chat, thank you very much for joining. Have a fantastic weekend. Hopefully you get a green arrow. And I'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.